Have you ever struggled with pain, heartache, and disappointment? Wondering, is this all there is? Then this podcast is for you. Get ready for inspiration to discover your own true purpose-driven success with your host, Denise Hansard.
Welcome everyone to Is This All There Is? Hi, I'm Denise Hansard, your host, and today I have a guest for you. I know you're not accustomed to having a guest on with me. I'm one to just go ahead and give it to you, but today I have a guest, and this is Mary Fain Brandt. Mary, did I pronounce that correctly?
You did. Good job. Thank you, Denise. Appreciate that.
Yes. So let me tell you a little bit about Mary. Mary and I, honestly, we met years ago through an online networking group and everything. And you know what? We didn't really talk or anything like that. I just started following her because I liked everything she had to say. So I was in the background. And Mary is one of those people that she is an expert in training and facilitation, and definitely a powerhouse with LinkedIn. And it's her ability to unlock that LinkedIn potential for you that makes her the go-to expert. As a matter of fact, one of her recent, and I say recent, could be in the last 4 or 6 months, who knows, but developments is with her certified AI consultant.
Yes.
I love that. She dove right into it when it started out. Now she's helping others, small businesses, everything like that, to be more productive, enhance their marketing aspect, and the best thing about it is save them more time. So everybody
Tons of time. I had one client that when we were done, Denise, he said, "Mary, you just saved me 23 hours. I was like, 23 hours. He goes, that's how much time it would have taken him. But thank you for that introduction. And thank you for having me here. I can't even remember which online networking event we were at together. I mean, was it during COVID?
It was after COVID. It was cats.
Oh, cats. Yes.
Yes, it was cats.
That's right. Oh.
Yes. And as I said, I kind of stalked you, but I followed you. And I got a newsletter because guys, if anything comes out of this, you got to get on Mary's newsletter because she has such great stories and great information. You've got to do that. And I'll put a link down below and make sure you get there. But one of your newsletters came through that just kind of hit me in the heart based on what I've gone through. And it just resonated. And I knew I wanted you on the podcast then. But it was what happens when your mom goes missing.
Yeah.
And as we're talking about, is this all there is? What more can you tell us about that whole episode and where it took you?
So, my mom went missing on like the worst storm in San Diego in January it was 20, when did I get married? When did I get married? 2012? I never can remember, or 2013. It was 2013. And my mom had been diagnosed with dementia leading to Alzheimer's. And some strangers picked her up. And because she said she was trying to get to her daughter's house, they dropped her off at a gas station in a not great neighborhood. And so I like to share this story now. I'm at a place where I can because I want to educate other people. So 2 things happened. 1, we got her the bracelet right after with all her medical information. 2, I share this story to educate people. If you pick up someone, even if they seem okay, you would not drop them off at a gas station. You would take them to the police station. That is a much safer place. Luckily for me, we found my mom, but so many seniors go missing and they're not found. We found my mom, I really believe, because Facebook, I'm going to say that. Messages were put out on Facebook. People were calling people saying, get out of bed. Mary's mom is missing. And friends, people I didn't even know, colleagues, they were all searching for her on this rainy night. And it was the worst 6 hours of my life. And I've had a rocky life. But let me tell you, and I've made bad decisions. I'm not, not going to lie. Yeah, I've made some bad decisions. I've been in some bad places, but that was the worst 6 hours. My mom had just had a toe amputated in November. January, she goes missing in the rain. I can't find her. I'm freaking out. And she has Alzheimer's, that dementia. She's right at that cusp. I didn't have care in there yet. Immediately after, I got care in there for her. And I wasn't sure how that was going to play out. And you say the name of the show is, so what happens next? Is that all there is?
Yeah.
Well, I went on a mission to learn more about Alzheimer's. My mom actually had early onset Alzheimer's.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it can be caused by 4 genes, the APOE genes, which can be hereditary. So with LinkedIn, you guys are like, oh yeah, Mary knows LinkedIn, because I dove in because I needed to know it. With AI, I was like, I want to learn this. And when I want to learn something, I go all in. So with the early onset Alzheimer's, you can get a scan to see, you can do the blood work and all of that to see if you have it. So my mom had 2 of the genes, which I believe gives you a 70% chance of getting it. If you have one of the genes, you have a 35% chance. So I have one of the genes.
Wow.
So there is a good chance I could get early onset Alzheimer's. Knowing this, we have code words set up. My husband understands about Alzheimer's. My good friends does. So what's next? Is this all there is? No, but I feel that education can prepare you for anything. And it might not be fun. It might not be pretty, but I would rather know and be prepared than, we have some funny sayings. Like if someone says, Mary, you're acting like your mom. Oh, okay. Okay. That's a code. That's, we have like really simple words and sentences because your long-term memory stays, but your short-term memory goes.
Yes. Yes. So that's interesting. And I like what you say. Number one, it's so funny that you're putting it this way because about your research into it. I just wrote a newsletter for LinkedIn about being a toe dipper or a plunger. Because I'm like you, when I want something, I plunge right in and go for it. Exactly. I'm diving in. And I think that is not the norm for most people. Because
it can be scary.
Yeah.
Because what if you find out information you don't like? Do you think I wanted to know that I had one of those genes? No. Absolutely not. And what was worse is the doctor, the neuro, what are they called? Can't remember the name, the neuro doctor that you see for brain stuff.
Yeah, neurosurgeon.
Yeah. So after all my tests and everything, and I have, the follow-up meeting with him, he's like, I don't know why you did this. He literally said it. I don't know why you did this. There's no cure. So if you have it, you have it.
Oh my gosh.
This is what I'm like, and I was, how old was I? 54 at the time, 53. This is what this gentleman's saying to me. So one, he needs some bedside manner training.
Yes.
Why I did this is because I do want to know if I have a higher chance of getting it than the average person. So what can I do? I can stay active, try to be healthy. I can have systems and things in place should that happen.
Yes, you can be prepared.
Right? Yeah. Right. And I can stay educated on what are the newest drugs out there, because as of this recording, there is no cure. There's no cure for Alzheimer's. There are some drugs that they think slows it down a little bit, but there's nothing that I would take right now that's on the market that I feel is going to make a difference. But, AI is helping with research and medical advancement. So I am hopeful that there will be something, because and I don't understand it all in depth, but there's a protein buildup in your brain that starts shutting down parts of it.
See, number one, I love how you approached it in that you wanted to know and wanted to be prepared. I would be like you. It's like, okay, so I know there's not a cure now, today. Who knows tomorrow? Because there can be, or more information comes out about it where people are just kind of, again, testing different theories and philosophies and behaviors and activity and everything along
foods that you eat. My mom was an avid Coca-Cola drinker. So the sugar, and then she was diabetic. So she went to the Diet Coke, which had what was the bad aspartame? She ate Yoplait, which had aspartame. She ate a lot of that. I don't eat, I try my hardest not to eat sugar substitutes, because I do believe that I think they've been linked to cancer, but I firmly believe that that probably didn't help the situation.
Yes, and I totally agree with you. But having that aspect of being prepared and I love how you've put in a system with your husband and family and friends on the code words, because doesn't that kind of bring you into the moment
Yeah.
of,
Yeah.
kind of like, oh, okay. Whether you remember it in a minute or not, it doesn't matter. It brings you back to who you are.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to do what I can to be prepared.
Yeah.
God willing, it won't happen, staying active.
Yep.
I'm always, look, last year I just became an AI certified consultant at 60,
I
right? So
love
like people are like,
it.
I can't even figure out Excel. I'm like, I just wanted to learn it. I'm going to need it. It could replace me. Why is it going to replace me? How can I make it not replace me? I'm like, So I'm like, let's dive all in. And I did everything wrong at the beginning before I became certified. And then I learned how to use it.
Mm.
And, am I the top level consultant? No. Do I help the small to mid-sized business owners? And are they shocked and awed every time? Absolutely. Am I learning every week? Yes. And I think that's part of my journey with my mom and losing her. And then what's next? Is this all there is? Is that I was my mom's caretaker for a couple of years? That launched me into becoming an entrepreneur. I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. And then all this with my mom, I was like, I can't, I left my job. I can't go get another job, a regular 9 to 5 job. That's not going to work right now. So what can I do? Well, I dive into things. So I didn't have a job. I needed a job. I created a 15 tab color coded binder on what you need to do when you're looking for a job.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome. And you made it
And
fun.
I became a career coach, helping people like align your passion and your talents, your skill set with a job that you like. So my joke is, here's something funny. I got in trouble for talking too much in second and third grade, and I had to write, I will not talk in class on the big chalkboard.
I
So
remember
now my
that.
joke is I get paid to talk. If only people had taken that talent of mine, that raw talent, and really put that up and said, you like to talk. What can we do with this? Okay, you're a speaker, you're a
Yes.
trainer, facilitator. Well, back in the day, my generation, that wasn't a thing,
It
right?
was stay
And
in the
so,
box,
yeah, stay
don't
in
be
the box, go to
creative.
college, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
Oh, that whole path. You either went to college or you went to and become a technician of some sort.
Yeah,
It
you
was
got
like that.
married. In my path was very not normal for my age group. Most of my friends went to college, got married, and had babies. And it got married, had no babies, got divorced. Oh, let me go back to college now. So I got my degrees later in life, and I think I worked harder for them because I was working full time. So they mean a lot to me. But yeah, I didn't want to be an entrepreneur, but the situation with my mom led me down that path. Now I'm getting paid for something I got in trouble for in second grade. So, go back to like what was going on. What did you enjoy doing? Was it playing outside? Was it coloring? What was something that you did before the world got into you?
Yeah, yeah. I love that. I love that. Because honestly, everything, if we just go back to what our passions are, or the passion that you've always had, and going back to your childhood, were you the one always pulling people together and leading them? Were you the one
Yep.
that was a follower? That tells a lot about who you are. Were you the
I'm the
caretaker?
facilitator. I'm
There.
the facilitator and the trainer, right? Like, let me gather all my friends. No, we're going to do this at this time.
Yes.
I'm the itinerary, and I'm still that way. And I just lean into it. My close circle of friends, we have St. Patty's Day or we travel. I have an itinerary. Here's the locations that we're going to go visit. Right now, if
Yeah.
you don't want to do that, you can go on your own. But here's what I have planned. I hope that you will all go. Like, I am that organizer, planner, facilitator, trainer.
Yes. Yes. And you did that as a child. So there you go. That's it.
Yeah.
So in looking at, and we could talk forever, guys, but we want to keep this short and
Yeah.
concise with everything. So you had that journey. And what I read in your newsletter was you quit your job, you moved in to take care of your mom, become her caretaker, and you started your own path.
Yeah.
talk to me a little bit and talk to our listeners a little bit about what motivated you to move beyond your fear, because I know that was fearful. Or
It's
did you think,
very fearful. It was really like, how can I be there for my mom and have an income? I didn't have a bucket of gold coins, right? That could sustain me. I wasn't a trust fund baby. And so, what was I good at? And before I had left my job, I had finished my master's program at Chapman. And I had people, I was holding like lunchtime talks with women at the school that didn't want to be there anymore. So I was coaching.
already doing it?
I was already coaching. I wasn't getting paid. Now, when I left, I started getting paid a small amount, but that organically, naturally led me to like, okay, I'm going to start a business. And here's what I'll tell the listeners. I had no idea what I was doing. I spent a lot of money on stupid stuff. I wouldn't do that again. I'm going to write a book on how to launch a business. Do it while you're working and don't spend thousands and thousands of dollars on tons of different business coaches. Figure out your passion. So I've pivoted, and you will pivot throughout your journey, but I feel like I didn't do enough research at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's guilty of all of us. I was in the same place. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I would have done more research, more talks to really understand how I'm going to help my clients. It's not about how I think I'm going to help them. What are they looking for? And, it's 9 years now, and I've pivoted and added stuff. I don't do career coaching anymore. I'm strictly LinkedIn and AI and business coaching. But, just don't rush it, because it's going through the process that gets you to the end of the journey. It's the journey that,
Yeah. Tell us, and I have one more thing I want to ask you about.
Okay.
So tell us why people should not be afraid of AI.
Oh, that's easy. I love AI. There is, I don't want to discount anyone's fear.
Yes.
Anything in the wrong hands can become bad. Anything. So let me put that out there. I do understand there's fear and there's risk. The way I teach it is ethically, efficiently, effectively. So why shouldn't you be afraid? If you're using it properly, there's no reason to be afraid. You're not going to have plagiarism. I don't like seeing people trying to figure out on their own and they sound like everyone else. The wrong words are there. There's 10 million emojis and you're like, you read it and you're like, I know AI wrote that post or that newsletter. It doesn't sound like them. So why shouldn't you be afraid? Because I can make your human-like AI assistant sound like you, feel like you, talk like you. And there's not just like ChatGPT and Claude. There are so many great tools out there. And in my LinkedIn newsletter, which is only on LinkedIn, it's weekly on Thursdays. That newsletter has AI in the news and AI tools every week and one LinkedIn update. And that is where and I test out a lot of different tools. So there is a tool that can create your presentation for you. Who likes to spend hours on Canva? Raise your hand. That's right. Nobody. What about taking a video like your podcast and putting it in a tool, and it chops it up and makes you 20 pieces of video, 20 micro videos with captions on brand for you?
Okay. We're going to go stalk you a little bit more on LinkedIn.
Yeah. So for me, I think it's how you think of AI.
Yes.
AI is a productivity tool. It is not a human replacement tool.
Bingo. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And AI, here's my saying, AI, I call it the 90-10 rule. I made it up, but it's fabulous. 90-10. AI gets you 90% to the finish line. It's up to you to get it to the last 10%. You got to put your human eye on the AI. Are these stats right? Does this read right? Is it in my brand voice? Does it have too many emojis? Not enough emojis? Which platform am I writing this for? Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn? Is it a newsletter, website? There's so much. So that's why working with a certified consultant can really help declutter the chaos and simplify and streamline your processes.
I love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you, Mary. Okay, so tell people, is there one little more inkling you want to say? Or did you capture it all right there?
I think I got it all right there.
I think you did too. So, Mary Fain Brandt, thank you so much. Tell everybody how they can connect with you. How can
So
they find you?
LinkedIn is the best platform. That's where I'm the most engaged. So I'd prefer, that's where I build my professional network. So just connect with me over there. We did just rebrand and launch a new website today. So that's coming out, and that's called Master It with Mary. So go check it out. Give me some feedback. We're testing all the links, of course, making sure everything's, mobile friendly and all of that. I'm open to any feedback, but I think that you'll really find it a breath of fresh air.
I love that. And listeners, I mean, how could you not want to go and connect with Mary and learn everything about her? She herself, and thank you, Mary, are a breath of fresh air. I really
Oh,
like.
thank you.
Yeah, so thank you again. And guys, this is it for today on Is This All There Is? I'm Denise Hansard. I'm your host with Mary Fain Brandt. And until next time, we'll see you
Ciao.
again.
So that's it for today's episode. Head on over to iTunes or wherever you listen and subscribe to the show. One lucky listener every single week that posts a review on iTunes will win a chance in the grand prize drawing to win a $15,000 private VIP day with Denise Hansard herself. Be sure to head on over to isthisallthereispodcast.com and pick up a free copy of Denise's gift and join us on the next episode.